India's space story is about to get a major makeover, and this time, ISRO may be stepping away from the factory floor. According to IN-SPACe Chairman Pawan Goenka, ISRO will gradually stop manufacturing launch vehicles with rocket production and satellite manufacturing, moving to private companies and PSUs. The transition has already begun with the SSLV, whose technology and production rights have been transferred to Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. And now the next in line could be India's workhorses, the PSLV and LVM3. But unlike the SSLV process, the upcoming transfer will be open only to the private players. So does this mean ISRO is retiring from the rocket business? Well, not quite yet. The agency is expected to focus more on what it does best: cutting-edge research, scientific missions, advanced technologies, and futuristic space infrastructure. In fact, Goenka says 120 ISRO technologies have already been transferred to the private sector. The bigger goal: expanding India's space economy from around 8 billion today to 44 billion by 2033. Now, India's rockets may increasingly be built by private companies, while ISRO sets its sights even higher. I'm joined by Group Captain V.N. Jha, Senior Scientist, former Joint Director DRDO. Hello and welcome, sir. My first question: how significant is ISRO's decision to shift rocket manufacturing to the private sector?
Thank you very much, Anna. See, we understand in the R&D language, better late than never. This is a step should have been taken long back, and especially in the professional bodies like ISRO, which has got immense capability. Immense capability it has got. The skill is sky high. You can say. You can also say cosmos high. So all that skills being utilized only for manufacturing rockets didn't gel well. We in DRDO, we are used to be undertaking the R&D on various types of projects, whether it is the science and technology project, whether it is a technical demonstration project or mission mode project. But usually what we do, the normal way of R&D into cutting edge technology is that in any technology which you feel should mature and then thereafter it should continue, like rocket, PSLV, GSLV. Now, PSLV has been operating since 1993 on almost, I think, about 65 odd flights have been launched. Most of it successful. Technology, the specification is proven, it is frozen. There is no further improvements or value addition in the PSLV. So there is no reason why ISRO should be making it. Give it to the private manufacturers. Anybody who comes up there, transfers the technology, let the rocket manufacturing be handed over to them. Of course, they will need a couple of flights to show their technical, absorption of the technology. So that they will do. But slowly and gradually, with bit of hand holding that we also do. In DRDO, we start a technology. After we have shown the performance of it fail-proof, then we freeze the design, we freeze the specifications, and then we call the industries. It could be PSU industries or it could be private industries. We call them and we transfer the technology to them, and then thereafter they manufacture it and they sell to India as well as, if government permits, to abroad. So that is how we usually work in the DRDO. And what we, the scientists in the DRDO, concentrate is in developing the newer technology or in any old technology, keep on adding, the value additions, what we call it. So that value additions R&D work that continues. Same is the requirement for ISRO. Look, ISRO today is confronted with so many additional R&Ds. Look at China, look at USA, even ESA. They have got the lifting capability of about 15 to 30 tons at one go in single rocket. And where we are just at about, say, 8 to 10 tons. That too with the boosters, with the strap-on boosters that we have got capability. So we are lagging far behind, and especially in the light of that, if we have to build After the Gaganyaan, as we are going for the station, permanent station in the space station, we have to have this lifting capability, and that could only come with the R&D. Suppose in the next stage, PSLV being manufactured since '93, GSLV being manufactured since 2001 or so, LVM being manufactured since 2019. All these are already matured. Give this technology to the private sector or the public sector, whosoever comes forward, and they pay. They pay to the government of India or the ISRO, and then they take buy that particular technology. So continue, let them manufacture it. ISRO can buy from them those rockets as and when there is a launch required. Otherwise, let those companies like Skyroot, they have already proven their first rocket. Now the smaller rocket can be, smaller satellites can be given to them for being launched into the orbits. So that is the type of work usually we in DRDO we do, that we develop a technology, we prove its function, that it's flawless, and then give it to the private players or the public sector undertaking or anyone, whosoever comes forward. And we concentrate onto the next generation technology, what could be the cutting edge for the Indian defense forces or otherwise
Yes,
here
sir.
in case of this ISRO. So ISRO right now is confronted with a heavy lift. That is the first requirement that ISRO must concentrate. And secondly, the satellites. Look, satellites of yesteryears were very heavy. Today, in view of the progressing technologies, we have got the MIMS-based technology. We have got the very micro technology, nano-based technologies. So those things, when come into our satellites, those maybe 1,000 kg satellites will now measure just about 50 kgs or 100 kgs. That is the type of improvement goes on to the technology. So ISRO should now concentrate onto the cutting edge technology, which will continue augmenting its functions. So look, till now we have got a lens in those satellites which have not very good resolution from the space, and that is one area we must work on. There are other areas where the ISRO's requirement is sought to improve its function. So ISRO should continue on that R&D, and that is what I have read, I have understood, that what ISRO chairman now seeks, that they will now concentrate on the further R&D, put value additions into the existing technology that they have developed,
Definitely,
and
sir. And also, while I understand that this move allows ISRO to focus better on research, innovation, and as you said, scientific missions, one big question. What challenges could possibly arise as PSLV and LVM3 production moves to private players now?
no problem at all. We
Okay.
are used to. We in the audio we are used to. That is what we do here. Once we have made a particular product, we give this technology to the private players or
But
the
as you said earlier, sir, that they will have to prove their metal
yes,
because we
yes.
have not seen it before. And ISRO is nation's pride with
Anna,
several successful missions, and there's a bar set for ISRO. So a private player would have to compete with that bar.
Anna, there is always a first. Every time, even a human, when it is born, it takes the first step. It doesn't start running from thereafter. After we have done the R&D, or ISRO has done the R&D of PSLV, GSLV, LVM, or take any name, they give the technology, the product technology, the frozen specification. It is bound to success, but all the same, there is a requirement of bit of hand holding for the company to absorb the technology that we have developed, inform them, keep timely, keep on giving the advice of the crucial components that it has got. That even the minor variations in the specifications can challenge the performance of the vehicle. So give them those, make them absorb the technology that ISRO has developed, and then they will continue. There will be first demonstration flight, and then there will be a commercial flight thereafter. Series of commercial flight, like SpaceX is doing. You see their Falcon 9 rockets going every now and then. But then, if suppose tomorrow ISRO decides or the private players decide that their first stage motor should come back, like SpaceX is doing, it is letting its first stage come back land, and be utilized again, reuse for the reuse. If such things are requirements come up there, ISRO can work, or even those private players. Today they have got people coming from ISRO in those company. They can do that value addition, that put those technologies which can bring that first stage rocket or the second stage rocket safe back to the earth, land it here, and then refurbish, do the revalidation of the system, and reuse it. So that reuse technology can be done either by ISRO or by the private players. But ISRO right now should focus, as far as the rocket is concerned, it should focus on a heavy lift. There is no time left now. It is too late already to start with. ISRO is, to my knowledge, is already working onto it. But now it should put, the pedal, the accelerator down, accelerator further up, so that the momentum comes up in that heavy lift capability. Secondly, heavier satellites can be made much lighter and with a higher capability of functions, many more things, value additions done to it. And infrastructure. I told you, if there has to be a space station like ISS, International Space Station, if there has to be a Bharati Space Station, it has to do all those things. Even the capture technology, the integration in the space, even that requires further trials, with the heavier components, heavier systems. So all those areas right now ISRO must be having it lined up, and that must be the reason why after creating IN-SPACe, now they are giving this technology. They have decided to give those already mature technology to the private players or the public sector undertaking. You name that HAL has already taken the SSLV part of it. So like this, it should go. It is already too late. It should have been done long back. Hannah.
Yes, sir. Definitely. Thank you so much for joining us, sir.